till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bag. Horse stock is attached.
Finally, after being trolled by Tom Holland, Jacob Batalon, and Zendaya on what the title will be for Spider-Man 3, we finally have it. That being Spider-Man No Way Home. Hey everyone, and welcome to Protocol 36. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the meaning behind Spider-Man No Way Home. However, before we get started, if at any point you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate if you could drop a like, as that would really help out the channel. Thank you. However, for this video, I won't be talking about the whiteboard in the video where they announced the title, as I think many YouTubers and content creators already broke that down. So in this video, I'll just be speculating about the meaning behind the title. Now, the title itself probably doesn't need to be explained all that much. However, going by previous titles such as Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, I'm pretty confident that this title also has a double meaning. Now, obviously, one of the reasons being that Peter Parker literally cannot go home since he's on the run, and the authorities, after Mysterio exposed him, have probably already raided his house, possibly even got to Aunt May, and we know that Happy's there as well, so he possibly got arrested as well. And thanks to the stills that Tom Holland, Jacob Batalon, and Zendaya released when quote-unquote announcing the fake titles, it pretty much shows all three of them together in a warehouse, provides further evidence that Peter Parker is in fact in hiding, and his friends are trying to help him to get through whatever mess Mysterio put him in. And in one of the stills, it looks like Peter, Ned, and MJ are looking at someone, and judging by the shadow on MJ's jacket, a lot of people say that it's Ned's shadow. However, it doesn't really seem to be the case, though it does make sense thanks to the lighting. But some people said that it might be Tobey Maguire. However, I'm more inclined with the theory that it might be Doctor Strange. He's confirmed to be in the film. He might be able to help Peter in some way, since probably the only safe place for him to be in is the Sanctum Sanctorum, which makes sense for Peter Parker to just lay low there for a bit. However, it looks like that Peter Parker will be using a random warehouse instead, which is possible. I've seen a lot of people say that the warehouse might be the rundown version of the Sanctum Sanctorum, and that something happened there, especially as we know that WandaVision will somehow influence both Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2, especially Doctor Strange 2, as that will be focusing on the multiverse. Also in the video, there was a static transition, which could suggest that WandaVision might have an effect on the plot of Spider-Man 3. Maybe not the overall main plot, but probably a tease of what's to come for not only the film, but also mostly Doctor Strange 2. Since we know John Watts and the creators over at WandaVision did talk along with Sam Raimi, so there's also that to think about. However, I just think that it's a random warehouse. I just think that some of the things like the lamps being similar to the lamps in the Sanctum Sanctorum in the first Doctor Strange film are coincidences. However, I could definitely be wrong, but who knows. I think that Doctor Strange, because he's a powerful sorcerer, will automatically know where Peter Parker is and will try and seek him out, especially with what happened to him on the news. We know that Doctor Strange doesn't live under a rock, so the news probably reached him as well, and he might have something to do with Peter Parker clearing his name. And if you want to know how, I've got another video coming out on Tuesday on how Peter could clear his name in Spider-Man No Way Home. I've seen a few people say that another reason why it's called No Way Home is because of the fact that Peter Parker is in a different dimension and there's no way for him to go home when he's been stranded in another dimension, like the Raimi universe or the TASM universe. However, thanks to the stills, we pretty much know that that isn't the case, and I don't really think they will have Peter Parker be lost in another dimension, especially as Peter will have to protect his friends and family to make sure that they're safe and don't have to pay the consequences for his secret being out. So I think it's more likely that Peter Parker internally will have no way to go home. And what I mean by that is, after Mysterio exposed him, we know that Peter won't be the same after that, and we know how distraught he was when he saw the video of Mysterio outing him out and lying about the fact that he attacked London. So I think not only is Peter Parker struggling to find his home, his real home where he lives with Aunt May, but also within, as his life is pretty much ruined, his friends are in danger, Aunt May is pretty much the #1 target as she lives with Peter and raised him as well. So that alone will definitely mess up his head and make him not think clearly. So I think, like the previous movie Spider-Man Far From Home, where not only was Peter literally far from home as he was in Europe, but also internally far from home as he lost another father figure, which is Tony Stark. So I think the same thing will happen here. Or maybe home could be referring to Aunt May, as maybe she was arrested and there's no way for Peter to get to Aunt May before his enemies does, which would be really interesting to see. But I'm leaning towards the fact that it will not only be about Peter literally not finding his way home, but also internally not finding his way home, not being able to think straight, feeling like it's all his fault and feeling useless because of the fact that everyone he cares about, everyone he loves is in danger. One thing I also wanted to talk about is the color scheme used for the Spider-Man title, which is red and blue. Now, when making the thumbnail for the video, I thought I saw a little bit of orange instead of red. However, it is red, and I thought if it was orange, then this could potentially lead to the fact that Ned could become the Hobgoblin. However, I don't think that's going to happen, and since it's red and blue, I believe it's setting up the fact that this will be the next color scheme for Peter Parker's next suit. And the reason why I say that is because in Far From Home, for that title, I believe it was red along with the black background, which to me at least basically suggests the fact that Peter Parker will have a red and black suit, which we saw in Far From Home that he does. In Homecoming, it was red and yellow. However, you could look at the fact that maybe it was hinting towards the Iron Spider suit, which has a bit of yellow in it. Like I said before, it was the first time we get to see the MCU's version of the Iron Spider suit. And with red and blue, because of the fact that not only is it the traditional Spider-Man color scheme for his suit, but also maybe suggests the fact that he will get a new suit, and this time, like the Stark suit, will be red and blue. Atlanta Filming also said that Peter Parker will have a new suit. However, if you want to know what I think that might be, which I'll put it in the card in the right hand corner of the video. When Tom, Zendaya and Jacob were revealing the fake titles, Phone Home, Home Wrecker and Home Slice, people noticed that those are the color schemes of the Green Goblin, green and purple being the color scheme of the Green Goblin obviously, and silver being the color scheme of his glider, which is very possible. I would love to see Norman Osborn be introduced in Spider-Man No Way Home. I think it's unlikely. I don't think he will be the main villain. However, if they do decide to make him the main villain, it could make sense. And there were a lot of rumors that Marvel Studios does want to use Norman in the MCU, which makes sense since him along with Doc Ock is the arch nemesis of Spider-Man. Since it hasn't been confirmed yet, take it with a grain of salt. However, what about you guys? What do you think No Way Home might suggest for Spider-Man 3? Do you agree with what I said, or do you think it might mean something else? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, give me your thoughts. Do you like the title? I personally really like it. I was hoping for War at Home. However, this is still pretty good. So drop your thoughts in the comments as well. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please like, and want more, subscribe. To begin, Protocol 36.